Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We are going to discuss about jobs that you can do as an international student here. Now, one thing that I want to tell you guys is before I tell you about the jobs that you can do as an international student here in Canada is how you should start, how you should go about it. The very important thing that you should do here before coming to Canada, I would suggest, and if you cannot, then at least once you come to Canada, you should start working on that, is networking. You should start networking with people on LinkedIn, Facebook groups, if you have any groups related to your colleges, your institutes, or wherever you're planning to stay, or go up for your accommodation. If you can search the groups on Facebook related to that particular city or town or area, it's going to be really helpful. For example, I live in Ajax, so I am connected to the Durham region group on Facebook. So people post there about a lot of things. Okay, so it's a really nice thing to get connected with the people. Plus, if you do have any friends here already studying, start connecting with them. Tell them that you would be looking for a job once you land in Canada. So if they are already working at any place, they can actually give their reference, because reference plays a very important role. If you do have a reference, it really works a lot. So they can give a reference on their company where they're working, and people do prefer people who are referred actually. So because their employer knows somebody who's going to be a good fit for the company. So it's really very important to do all of these things. Start connecting with people on LinkedIn, look for jobs before you come here, start networking, start collecting references, start giving interviews if possible, because once you come here, there are some companies who might be looking for a later joining date. So if you do give your interviews before you tell them you're landing at this particular date and you can start right after that, it's gonna be very good for you. Now, apart from networking, other thing that I want to tell you is about the resume and the cover letter. So when you're trying to apply for a job, be it online or going in person and dropping your resumes, you would be giving your resumes. Now here in Canada, resume goes along with the cover letter. So make sure that whatever jobs you're actually applying, you are adjusting your resume as per that job requirement. Okay, so whatever the roles, because every job role is going to be different. So you have to make those changes in your resume every time you apply for a particular role. Along with the resume, also the cover letter goes. So in your cover letter, you need to mention why you're looking for a job, mention about your previous experiences if you have any, mention about your strengths, what you can actually bring to the table, how you will actually be a benefit for the organization. Other thing that I want to tell you guys about is obtain your Canadian work experience. Now, this might be your first job in Canada. But remember, this first job, this first Canadian experiences will go with you in future also, because this is your first Canadian experience, first job in Canada. This first job in Canada and getting a Canadian experience is really an important step. You can start, if you don't get any job, you can actually start volunteering in some of the companies that do require some volunteers. It's a great thing to network. It's a great way of networking with people, knowing people. They might refer you to, in their own companies or wherever they're working. So volunteering is another opportunity to network with people and obtain a Canadian experience. And the last thing is use your experience from your home country as a plus point. So if you do have an experience in no matter whatever field, but you do have an experience, mention that experience in your resume. Talk about it, because when you have worked somewhere in the past, it really works in a positive way. When you talk about it, when you give your interviews, when you share your resumes, it tells that the person has worked in a work environment and does have some kind of strong points. Mention what your strong points are, like maybe you're good in computer, skills. Maybe you have good communication skills, so you talk about your previous experience. Try to do that. So these are some tips and tricks that you should do it. Now we're going to talk about the jobs. So the first job that every student actually starts with is a retail job or a restaurant job. So what I mean when I say about retail and restaurant jobs is actually that here you don't need any sort of a certification. If you're working as a customer executive, or may be working in the kitchen, or working as a, let's say, waitress or packaging or anything, whatever they require, you don't need any sort of a certification. So you can join as a fresher, but if you do have any sort of an experience, that really helps a lot. You can just start putting your resumes, visit the restaurants, cafes, retail stores, big stores like Walmart. They're always in requirement of people. And No Frills, Freshco, all of these stores. Start applying on their online portals, call them if possible, visit their stores, restaurants, drop your resume, meet managers, tell them that you're in requirement of job, and something will come up for you. And if you do have reference, then please use that reference. Second job that I want to tell you is, in my last video also I told you guys about getting your driving abstract. Some people really don't like working under anybody's supervision and they just want to be self-employed. So you can actually work here as an Uber driver or a Lyft driver. And if you do have the driving license, you can actually also work as a delivery guy for some of the restaurants, cafes, or some of the stores, or some of the warehouses like Amazon. So if you do have your driving abstract, it really helps you in getting your driving license pretty fast. You can earn pretty good if you drive, and that's gonna be like a self-employed work, so you don't have to work under anybody's supervision, or you can just manage your own time. After your classes, you can go and drive, and you can pretty much earn whatever you aim for. The third kind of a job that I want to tell you about is actually a certification job, which is a forklift job. Now, in order to get this job, you do need to do a certification, and I'll put the link in the description box for this certification. This is actually a very high demand job, and if you do get this certification, the pay rate is also nice as compared to the other jobs, and it's really a nice thing. You can apply in any of the stores or any of the companies where a forklifter is required, but you do need to have this certification before you start applying for this particular role. The fourth kind of job is again requires a certification, which is a security guard job. Now, yes, it might say that it's a security guard job, but the good thing about Canada is that here nobody feels that this particular role is a small role or this particular role comes in a white collar role, because nobody cares. Everybody does every kind of a job. It doesn't matter. People start from scratch, and this is the best thing about Canada. So you can work as a security guard, but for that, again, you do need a license. Some of the companies pay really well for a security guard job. So do check the link in the description box. The fifth role that I want to tell you guys is, again, it's a certification role. It's a bartender role. So if you want to work as a bartender, you do require a certification for that. These roles, when I say require certifications, this means that if you want to apply for these roles, you actually need to have these certifications in place. You cannot work or apply for these roles unless and until you don't have the certification in hand. But these are very good roles. If you do get the certification, it really does well. Another job role that I want to tell you guys is about call center jobs. Now, some of the call centers, some of the companies require part-time people. Because the students are allowed to work only 20 hours a week, That's the reason you guys can apply as a part-time person if these companies require part-time agents. Now, again, you just need to have good communication skills if you're applying for these call center roles. And the role starts from minimum wages and it can go up to pretty high rate, I would say. You can start as a fresher. If you do have the experience of customer care in the past, it really helps a lot. The good thing about this role is that most of the companies are actually providing this particular role to work from home. So if you're a person who doesn't like going out much because of the Canadian weather and you think you're gonna be you don't really want to spend much on your traveling and you like to just work from home, then this is the good option for you. And some of the companies does send their equipments to your place so that you can start working from home. And the minimum, and I would say things that are just required for this role is you should have a computer, monitor, or a laptop or a headset. And some of the companies, like I said, does even send you these things. So you really don't have to spend also on these things. But if you do have it, that's also a plus point. So guys, I hope you liked the video. Do hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, share the video, and do let us know in the comments what next would you like to see from us.